That's faster than all of these. Which is awesome. We might do that. Wait, surprisingly, we still have the 3-truck tray. I don't know how, but we do. But it costs so much. That's $83,000 a year for above average acceleration and good reliability. Ugh. Alright, let's get to the GG1. GG1 before we get the age of the diesels. Okay, George Westinghouse. Not as much as I want to hit the GG1, not just yet. Overview, what do we got? For managers, we have train safety 30% higher. That alone is huge. That is like an extra caboose on every single train, an extra caboose. With that, you don't even have to run a caboose. That's an extra car of safety right there. I still hate this for the extra 5% riskier for train safety. The only reason that you would still run a caboose with George Westinghouse, besides being 55% safer, is the 75% breakdown chance. That alone would save you. That would be the only reason to run the caboose at that point. So we're going to buy back some more stock. Raise the stock price again. So we still have that much cash. That's our annual cash flow. Our income looking at right now for 1919. 337 industry profits. Passengers is surprisingly still staying up there, even with the rise of the automobile, which I believe has already happened. May or may not. If not, it's coming soon, and that's going to drop by at least $1 million a year. We're still earning decent on interest. We're still earning decent on interest, and station profits is easily keeping us afloat. So I think what the next phase to do, with all these huge transportation hubs we have going on in Duluth, Minneapolis, Minneapolis, North Platte, even Denver. Not going to worry about Salt Lake City too much, but Dallas and Montero, we're going to upgrade stations all throughout there. So that's a huge potential of untapped money just sitting there in our laps. So it's $460,000 a station for our huge hubs here. It's not bad for the amount of extra money they'll get us. We're also going to get a grain silo here, just because we also have the 3 grain farms. Post office saloon, telephone poles. Post office is extra 50% reduction in delays from mail, so that's going to be a big one too. Duluth already has it. Minneapolis already has it as well. Let me make sure. Yep. Telephone poles instead of the telegraph poles. Extra bonus in turnaround times. We don't have to worry about that. Telephone poles. Have to go through and make sure. Telephone poles is one of those things you really want to go through and make sure everything has, just because they're extremely cheap. They're only $80,000. Cheaper than, at this point, they're cheaper than a new station. Obviously a new station, but a new engine. So that, yeah, post office, large. Telephone poles, we want the post office too, just because of how long it's been sitting. For Salt Lake, because we do have these 2 grain farms, we are going to be wanting the grain silo, along with, we already have telephone poles. Not going to worry about it too much on these really unprofitable routes, especially like right here, where all we have is this logging camp, which I believe is actually keeping this alive, this whole route. No, actually it does, yeah. 4,000, so it's still losing 14,000, but that train to Rollins is easily done. compensating it for it depending on the year. So let's see what we got. We need poles there. Yes. Poles in Oklahoma City. Post office. We'll grab the saloon too, just because it's that extra 5%. For only 16,000. We're gonna need all right here too. Telephone poles. Telephone poles, all the telephone poles. Perfect. So, get the trains back running. There. So, have a decent food supply. And there it is, 1920. If you do recall, houses were at 0.5 a year. The explosive automobile, it's 0.4. So it is 0.25 after the bone comes out. That's gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt as much as it could. Still gonna hurt though. We go check on our, but that's okay because we have it set up. We knew this was coming, so we set this up with these long cattle trains, food trains from North Platte to Denver, which sustain us every year in, year out, sustain us. All these other little routes, like the Denver Rollins, these ones down here, they're just little offshoots. The big route, the main line, is from the North Platte to Dallas. Simple as that. That one alone, if we got rid of all the rest of that rail, all throughout there, that one line would sustain us indefinitely. So take a look at how these have grown. Minneapolis, Duluth are both good-sized cities. Fargo is about to be expected. North Platte kind of stopped growing for a good chunk there. For a very good chunk there. But you see a lot of trains. You see at least that one are both stopped waiting for it. To get in there, so that's probably a big chunk of that as well. Increase the salary again. Our average speed is back up to 22. I do want to see that hit 50 eventually. I doubt it's going to happen until the GG1. Looks like that train is still running there. How is that train going? Only 78,000, so not as much as it could be. The oil is still worth a lot more, surprisingly, but I think it's because it's worth, let's see, 1,100 days. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Commanded by electric plant and military depot. So if we check on this, and where train 8 is going to be a cattle train. Yep, cattle train. Okay. We check on the world for diesel. See all these suppliers and nothing really takes it. That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck a lot, but that's okay. So nothing really takes it because there's not really any electric plants. Even though it's 1920, electric plants still aren't really a thing. Maybe check here, coal. Yeah, we have all these coal supplies here in the Powder River Valley. We have a steel plant here, which we're not really using. Steel plants, all these Appalachian coal plants, or yeah, coal mines, but there's still no electric plants. It's not really, I believe it's the 1950s is when those really come into play. I've looked at it, I've looked at the chart, it said like 1910 is when electric plants really start up, but I have yet to see them really come into play until that late. Even doing as late a start as a 1935, they're still not really that far in. Okay, so what do we got here? Annoyed. We didn't do anything. Our average speed is down 5 miles an hour. That's because of the wreck. Because the wreck, especially at the hub here, where it wrecked, does so much damage to you financially that it can actually, enough of them, enough breakdowns, can get you fired. This is another one of those where they said millions of dollars if something went wrong, and that's what happened. But also we went through and bought so many of the station upgrades that was to be expected. Net worth is still up, as high as it's ever been. But that hurts a lot. It's probably the lowest since almost the very beginning. So, let's go our fantasy contract. We need 7 million just to be safe. We're here in a few years when the GG1 comes out. So we will sit here and watch the transport hub in North Platte until there it is. Okay, so no new managers. We're highly annoyed with this. Average speed is up. Profit's still down. Something is wrong. Let's check here. Last year, industry profits 265,000. We lost 100,000. We didn't do anything. We gained 738,000. Sorry, we gained 160,000 in station profits. About maybe 150,000. Sorry. Freight and passenger were both down. There's a labor strike right now, but that's to be expected. That's what we have these giant funds is for, those labor strikes, because they hurt. And even at the richest point, when you have every city in the continent connected and all making money, a labor strike can still make you run bankrupt. So, balance sheet, we're still, yeah, our book value is higher. So finances, before we buy back stock, let's go over here, buy up some stock. We have a lot of money, especially running. That's the reason the profits are down, is because that was the year we increased our dividends, so that way we could buy off more. So that way, hopefully, we could hit our 51% majority that we need to not get ousted, which is always a threat. As you can see here, we're running 3.56 dividends a share. I think we might drop that down just to make sure, so we don't run the risk of getting ousted. Let's drop that down to about $2. It'll also help us maintain, since we went ahead and bought that extra, it helps us maintain the same amount. So now that we did that, we currently have sitting at $6 million total cash. Buy back some stock. We lowered the dividend so we can guarantee to get as much. That puts us at just about, not quite, more than a third, but less than half. Whatever you want to call that. EE33 Mountainous Electrical Unit. Very low cost and maintenance, very poor acceleration, but good reliability. 30 mile an hour at low, 22 at 6. 6 cars, 26 and 7. That's not bad. We take a look at our current existing Bobo. We're at 53 and 18, 33 and 1. Definitely a more city-oriented, but it's got poor and poor. And it runs a lot more, $46,000 versus $22,000. So if we were in a crunch, I would definitely go through and upgrade all of those. If I knew I was going to have something go wrong, but I still had a few million to spare, which is why we keep the buffer, I would go through and upgrade all my Bobos to the EEs, and that would net me simply $30,000 on average in savings. But pleased, our average speed is down though. Our revenue's up, our profits are back up. We took off a lot of that dividend, which increased our profits artificially, because the game doesn't know the difference, but it kept our job. Our net worth is still higher than ever though.